what we realized at the end of last season, and when we realized we had to race this bike again in 2016 season, is we sat down as a collective group and figured out what we could do to improve the bike. You know, we came up with a list, just like any other list. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are might be resourceful, but impractical. You know, we started narrowing it down and said, okay, let's try this, let's try this. You know, for example, we went back into the dyno room, and I don't want to say reinvented the pipe, but let's say, okay, let's see what we can get out of here. And many dyno runs later, okay, well, hey, we found a little bit.
The guys have got together and we decided that, you know, we thought our bike was not so competitive last year, but we're just going to do everything we could to give them the best bike we could. And, you know, we're not going to give up. Over the season, we've changed some of the geometry of the bike, and that's helped out a fair bit, just kind of giving us a little bit of an edge now.
You know, we're always working on new stuff no matter what, and we found a few different settings that suited me a little better. You know, this off season I focused on testing 100% and just trying to get the most out of the bike.
There wasn't one thing, you know, it was just like, okay, that was better, you know, and while we were testing, okay, it proved on the lap time. You know, it was a 10th here, and so, but it wasn't like, wow, this is what we found, this is the miracle setup. And then the other big thing is just the strange events that happened, is that we had somebody else come on board that helped elevate our whole game and the other riders.
This bike have a lot of power. Sometimes little bit uncontrollable, needed to improve at the beginning was power delivery, and also found a little bit more traction.
It's one of those things that we worked a little bit on it all the time. There was some upgrades and some things we did in the rear shock, did some different valving up front.
We found a good package. The bike now is working really well.
It's been the story of a little bit, and it adds up all of a sudden to a very competitive bike.
You know, for me, working with the crew right now is as important as ever, because everybody is so close. You got to get that every last 10th second out of the bike.
You know, we were working on this thing, you know, back to the pipe development in October. You know, going, okay, well here, let's just start running the dyno and seeing what we can come up with. You know, that's what we do. You know, we're not going to sit around and go, oh, we're not getting our new bike. You know, not going to trip over our lower lip, pouting about the thing. You know, let's get on with our business. It's what we do.
Pressure's building because it's easy to get fourth now. There's so many good guys. You know, you make a mistake or you're off, some guy wins, you get fourth. That's a lot of points. So, you know, the last 5 laps of the race is going to be, I think, some of the best racing we've seen, because everybody knows that you're going to have to be going for it.
If the bike wasn't good to begin with, I don't care who you have on it, it's not going to work. You know, and then if you don't have a good rider on the good bike, it's still not going to work. And if you don't have a good crew that is working on the good bike with the good rider, it's still not going to happen. So it's a whole team effort. You know, it's just, you know, it's not one crew's better than the other crew. It's one big collective team effort. You know, you don't think this motorsports is a team organization or a team sport, but under this canopy, it sure the hell is.